Halloween. Cartoons. I love cartoons, animation. Since I was a kid, all the way till now, it's the greatest artistic thing, greatest medium of all. And what better way to celebrate Halloween than to celebrate animation cartoons with the top 6 greatest, best cartoon Halloween specials. Some of these are well known, and some of these may be unknown and forgotten. And remember, this, list isn't a definite thing. It's just me and my opinion. How silly of me for having that, right? But, hope you like these, and hopefully maybe you'll see some of these if you don't know about them. But let's kick it off with number 6. The Pumpkin Who Couldn't Smile, October 31st, 1979. Nice. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy in The Pumpkin Who Couldn't Smile, a 70s series that I've only seen like every year for the past few years on YouTube. Click on it to watch it for later, but never watched it. But it's got the really good style. It's the Chuck Jones type of style animation, and it got all the classic voices going through this. Everyone is recognizable from that time period. It's amazing. The style looks pretty good, and it's about a young boy who is a neighbor to Raggedy Ann and Andy named Ralph. The boy wants to have like fun on Halloween, trick-or-treating, wants to get a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern. The aunt wants nothing to do with it. So Raggedy Ann and Andy decide to go and find the perfect pumpkin. There's only one left. He's very sad. He's the one that can't smile, and he cries. It's awesome. He cries pumpkin seeds. So they go to help him, little wacky antics to get him from there to the house, involving a cat, police, ghosts. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's pretty cute. The dog with the skateboard. Real dogs can't compete to a freaking cartoon toy dog. I mean, wow, this is weird. Wow. But it's pretty cool. It was a fun, sweet message little story that I think people should really look into, and what I suggest to give a try. Number 5. Halloween is Grinch Night, 1977. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Christmas classic. Everyone loved it. Chuck Jones again. Award-winning. Really wonderful thing there. But then, years later, we apparently, which seems to be a list right now, some of the stuff is unknown, forgotten, maybe Halloween cartoon specials. But we have this one, was made after the Christmas special, but the Grinch is still kind of a dick in this. So this obviously takes place before How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which makes sense, Halloween before Christmas. But it's a very interesting story. It's, oh my gosh. The animation, the art style looks really good. So Dr. Seuss. The coloring, the way they use the colors, it's Halloween-looking fall colors. I love it. The sound, the background music, the score is beautiful. I really love it. The songs are fun and catchy. There's even a trippy scene in there. But anyway, the story is the Grinch, he gets tired of a sour, sweet stench wind in the air, and he goes to wreak havoc on the Who's. We have a certain family of Who's with all these rhyming names, and the main focus is Euchariah. With glasses, has astigmatism, and he goes to the outhouse, which is referred to as a euphemism, gets blown by the wind, meets the Grinch and Max, and then he figures, hey, I need to postpone him, prevent him from getting down to Whoville with his paraphernalia wagon, and he does so. Pretty entertaining, it's fun, catchy, good story. You really feel for Max. He has a good little song, and then you kind of see the abuse or the not love that he gets. So it's kind of a happy ending for him. Look it up, watch it, and it's really surreal. The Grinch's voice is wonderful. Again, you have Euchariah. Hal Smith does Josiah. Then you have his wife Mariah. Hans Conried plays the voice of the Grinch. It's like, most notably, the voice of Snidely Whiplash from Dudley Do-Right, and of course, Captain Hook from Disney's Peter Pan. A very distinctive voice, talented guy. That goes well with the Grinch, even if it isn't, the Boris Karloff type of one from the Christmas one there. Definitely recommend. A must-see for Halloween Grinch Dr. Seuss fans. Underrated, pretty much unknown nowadays, but it has a lot of stuff going for it, and it could be a new staple for you for Halloween. Number 4. Claymation Comedy of Horror Show. I love the Claymation series. Christmas one's my favorite. There's also an Easter one, so they did it for all the holidays. 1984. It's about Wilshire Pig and his buddy, Sheldon Snell, out to locate the dreaded Frankenswine. Yeah. Their search leads them to the monstrous doctor's terrifying castle. Their search leads them to the doctor's scary castle, where they meet a big variety, colorful cast of spooks, goblins, ghouls, and all that stuff that you expect at this party. I really like it. Wilshire's kind of a jerk, but he has to do what he does. There's good animation. It's kind of funny. It's got some interesting scares at times, too. From Will Vinton Studios. Really good claymation, and it just stood out. I remember it as a kid, just really enjoying it. And then they used to air it a lot, but then they don't air it as much anymore, especially nowadays. But it's fun. It's different. It has a good, coherent story. A very funny ending. And it's just what you would expect from claymation. Some good character design, some freaky moments. And just something another underrated one, but I feel is one of the best ones. That's just good for Halloween. If you haven't seen, if you love animation in general and not just the 3D stuff we have nowadays, go look at some more. If you love, Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, and Corpse Bride, you're gonna check out these other claymations. It's really good. Highly recommended too. Number 3. Garfield's Halloween Adventure, 1985. I love Garfield. I've always loved Garfield. He's been one of my favorite things since I was a kid, one of the things that got me into cartooning and comics that I love to draw, and a big influence on me. I loved Garfield to this day. I've even had a good best buddy that was into Garfield as a kid, and just great memories of Garfield. But Garfield's Halloween Adventure, it's Garfield, it's Halloween, nice animation, kind of spooky and scary in some points, but it's Garfield wanting to go out and eat candy, 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 easy boy, with Odie, and then uses Odie. Odie, this got one too many peg legs there. To go out trick-or-treating, he wants all the candy for himself. They go get the candy, then they go across the lake to this old haunted house, and then you hear the story by this creepy old man telling the story of pirates, which, Garfield and Odie dress up as pirates, so that kind of works out for them. Not really. And he says, this is the night where they will return, and they want blood, and they want the money that was hidden under here. And then he escapes, and then the ghosts come and chase, and then Garfield and Odie, encounter them. Garfield, at the end of it, gets saved by Odie, and you had the nice touching moment again where he's like, something totally out of character for me. Here's your share of candy. Got great songs. What should I be? There's so many sides to me, and the one thing I'm not is a scaredy cat. Awesome crap. You gotta love it. Garfield, Odie, trick-or-treating, great animation, good songs, feel good. One of the best Halloween cartoon specials of all time, 1984. Also, just how can you not love it? It seems like the perfect holiday for Garfield, which he mentions. And you have the great animation company as usual, creator Jim Davis, Lorenzo Music as the voice of Garfield, rest in peace, amazing that he is the voice of Garfield. And then of course, like with the holiday specials, you have the amazing opening song done by Lou Rawls. I mean, how can I love it? Garfield's Halloween Adventure is every bit of Halloween. Number 2. Boo to You Too, Winnie the Pooh. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this one. This one here is up on my list because if it wasn't for who number 1 is, this might be my favorite Halloween one of them all. Boo to You Too, Winnie the Pooh. Awesome short, originally broadcast 1996. You had the original voices, Peter Cullen, Jim Cummings, John Fielder, the great narrator, John Rhys Davies, and of course, Jim Cummings, not Paul Winchell, but still, this is, Jim Cummings still does a good job as Tigger. But 1996, I love this story so much. It's just what Winnie the Pooh is. It's sweet, it's touching, heartwarming, and it's just innocent. It's pure innocence. One of the few things of innocence we have left, especially animation. Even kid stuff still throws in a little bit of crude humor. But it's a Halloween night, and Piglet is afraid as always. His friends try to help him get over this, and he can't because of the spookables. Tigger's all excited. Rabbit's being his usual self, caring only about his garden and his beautiful pumpkin patch where all the pumpkins are started with a P for their names. Tigger has jack-o'-lanterns just waiting to happen. Piglet's song about himself trying to be strong is a very nice song. And then Tigger's, it's a classic Halloween song in my opinion. I want to scare myself and everyone else. It's great. The story is sweet. It's fun. It's the typical mishaps they have. And then because Piglet's so afraid, they decide to celebrate Hollow Wasn't instead. Good old Pooh. And with one of my favorite lines of all time in this, of Winnie the Pooh, Pooh is just, how can you not love Winnie the Pooh? I mean, he is that innocence. He is that genuine, pure good. And he's trying to help Piglet get out of it. He knocks at the door, and Piglet's like, who is it? Well, it's me. Well, how do I know you're Pooh? What should I say, Piglet? And he's like, well, how about you say, I am Pooh? And then Pooh's like, you are? Well, then who am I? And it's like, oh my gosh. And at the very ending, the Hollow Wasn't becomes a Halloween, happy little ending. Piglet finds the courage and all stuff. It's a beautiful little story. Even got Gopher. And of course, Eeyore, my favorite, because he's always so down, and oh, I love him. His cute little costume. And the costume contest, I'm just so much. Go watch it. It's awesome. The ending, I mean, I love the wording. A Hollow Wasn't truly was a Hollow Was. And then Winnie the Pooh, of all the Halloweens I can remember, and I can't, it's just, I'm done. But Boo to You Too, Winnie the Pooh, love it. Honorable mentions, Disney's Halloween Treat. I love that as a kid, but it's more of a collection of their Disney film clips, at like Nine on Ball Mountain, various Disney villains. And the cartoon special is like the one with trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat for Halloween, with Donald going against the witch. Love that one. Goofy, Donald, Mickey going against the ghosts, trying to exterminate them, and the stuff with Pluto and his nightmare stuff. But hosted with, I remember the pumpkin host. I love the pumpkin host. But of course there was the Snow White mirror that was also hosting at one point. But honorable mention because I put it on here, but I'm trying to go just singular ones there, but it's a collection one. It is a special, but it's not like an original cartoon special. But it is one of them that I had to put on here because it's one of the best. Sure, people who loved it, who remember it, they loved it. People who want to look into it, look into it. Disney's Halloween Treat. Also, honorable mention, may do a review of this myself if everybody wants to know about more of it. Grandpa's Silly Scaries, 1988, 1 hour, just a collection of cartoons, and it's Grandpa from the Munsters. Love the Munsters, love Grandpa from the Munsters. It's great. He was hosting, he had funny little moments with, in a cartoon backdrop, cartoon characters interact with them, and it was just a collection of silly, scary cartoons from yesteryear. And again, yeah, his unseen assistant, which is just a voice, Igor. A lot of them I liked on there. It was like Popeye, I'm one of the Boston Beans, and a mechanical monster, Daffy Duck going against, hey, Chloe, and the Mickey Mouse one there where he goes to that horrible, scary thing there where the guy wants to work on him. My two favorites, the Cobweb Hotel, about a spider wanting to get flies out of a hotel, and then the Pincushion Man. These are great old cartoons, and some of them are really, like, definitely freaky. Back then you could have this stuff and then kids were not affected by it. Nowadays this stuff there, we'd be doomed. But that's on the list of, yes, must see. Boy, I sure do have a lot of honorable mentions on here. The Ichabod Crane version of Disney's Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Again, it's not really special, but it is, but it's in a half of a movie, but I love this thing. It's probably my favorite version of Ichabod Crane, besides what you'll see in like Our Fear the Dark and stuff like that. But anyway, really good. Or Sleepy Hollow from Tim Burton. But anyway, go see it. Beautiful animation, good story. Awesome music, of course, because he had old Blue Eyes doing the voice and songs. And very great spooky animation, especially when the Headless Horseman shows up. And I just wanted to add this in here because what's Halloween without Elvira? Another honorable mention. And you have Elvira's Scary Christmas, because even Elvira's still sexy even in claymation. Yeah, I know it's Christmas, but again, it's Elvira. I just wanted to throw it in there, okay? Honorable mentions, The Halloween Tree. A story from Ray Bradbury. Came out in 1993, and it was on Cartoon Network all the time. I remember watching it. I like it. The style's nice. It was a good story, and he had Ray Bradbury doing the narration, and of course he had Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, as Mr. Carapace Clavicle Mountrod, Mr. Carapace Clavicle Mountrod, Mr. Carapace Magical. It isn't easy saying that so many times fast, but it's an honor mention because you need to go back to it again, revisit it to see, and who knows, it could make a higher up on my listing. But for now, it's really good, worth a shot to watch, and definitely a recommendation. Of course, how can we forget the greatest of all time? This is number one just by default. 1966. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So yeah, Charles Schulz, again, another one of my favorites since childhood, which got me into wanting to do cartoons and drawing. It is an icon. This is an icon just as much as the Christmas one. The Halloween one is just as influential and impactful and as big. It's the best Halloween, most iconic, greatest Halloween cartoon special of all time. No ifs, ands, or buts. So you have, again, it's a story, everyone's out for tricks or treats. Linus spews the stuff about the Great Pumpkin. We all know the story. Everyone laughs at him. He's out there waiting at the pumpkin patch and waiting for him if he shows up. Whoops, I meant when he shows up. Almost blew that one, didn't I? Charlie Brown with his Trouble with the Scissors, I Got a Rock, everything about it. Lucy being a witch when she says, in contrast with her character. Sally's love for Linus. And then, of course, you got Snoopy going after, the Red Baron, and you see the awesome sequence, and then the music again, you cannot not love the music. The music is quintessential to this. It's everything about this. Great score, as always, by Vince Guaraldi. I mean, he's just as much Peanuts as, the characters and the animation style. Great opening. I know you're gonna kill it. From start to finish, it is the best Halloween cartoon special, maybe special in general, of all time. I can't love it. And I love my favorite scene, Snoopy, dun 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 dun. How can you not love it? It is great. If you don't know it, what's wrong with you? If you do know it, I'm sure you love it because everyone does. It is great. And there you have it. Ding 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 ding. J.